Welcome everyone to my Hardcore Minecraft challenge. We'll be starting straight away with a random world seed, so I'll have absolutely no idea what to expect when I load into the game. Hopefully the RNG gods are in our favor today, but there's only one way to find out. Let's get this show on the road. As we wait for the world to load in for the first time, I'll go over the rules and format of this challenge. First off, we'll be doing this without any form of item duplication. That means that TNT dupers, sand dupers, or any other way of getting free blocks from nothing are banned. Everything you see me get in this game has to either be mined or farmed through legit means and not by way of glitches. Other well-known glitches, like breaking bedrock or getting onto the roof of the nether, however, are still allowed. Looks like we're almost done loading, so let's see what the world has to offer. Looks like we start off in a forest biome, so the first thing we're going to do is punch a tree real quick and use that to get ourselves a workbench as well as some basic tools. Next up is a quick animal murder break, followed by a trip to the nearby stone deposit in order to mine enough cobblestone to craft myself a full set of stone tools. This should be enough for the first few days on the road at least, until I get myself some iron for better equipment. After that, I unceremoniously discard my wooden tools, grab myself a snack, and head on to the next part of my adventure. I find myself 2 more sacrificial lambs to contribute to my Av8tion bed and breakfast fund. I mine myself some coal in order to fuel the furnaces I'm going to need. And then I stumble across a village not too far from the spawn point. Here, I take the opportunity to expand my dining choices. We'll start off with an order of beef, rare, and a side of bacon to go with it. Okay, maybe a lot of bacon. And pork chops. And while we're at it, we'll steal all their wheat and go put everything on a nice hard roll. Oh, and I'd also like to make another order to go. Some more beef, and pork, and beef. You know what? Screw it. Just give me everything you've got. No, I mean it. Everything you've got. Yes, that too. Don't give me that look. I'm the one with the axe. Speaking of axes, your town guard looked at me funny. So I'm going to kill him and I'm melting down his iron to make myself a new set of tools. No hard feelings, right? That's what I thought. Lastly, bringing knowledge to the peasants makes them harder to control, so I'll be taking all your reading material. Don't worry, guys. Ignorance is bliss. On my way out, I grabbed their blast furnace, rang their town bell to show my appreciation for all their contributions, stole their grabbed my bed, and continued on my way. After exploring for a little while, we came across a giant dripstone cave. I took the opportunity to collect a few samples for later study. Then as the sun began to set on our very first day, I laid out my bedroll and called it a night. As I wake up to start the second day, I feel rested, refreshed, and ready for another session of ovine genocide. Yes, that's the correct term for sheep in case you were wondering. We stopped to collect a few different samples of the local flora growing nearby, and then we came across a nest, but decided to leave it be. Yeah, okay, that was pretty terrible. I harvested the local pumpkin crop, even though Halloween is 4 months away and pumpkin spice anything is annoyingly overrated. After all that gathering, we dug ourselves a little bit of a cave into the stone and set up a couple of furnaces in order to cook our food. I upgraded to an iron pickaxe, replaced my beat-up stone axe, then I packed up my gear, and it's time to continue the adventure. We spend most of the afternoon frolicking through the flower fields and through the hills of the savannah, this time letting the local wildlife live. For now. As the sun sets and darkness creeps in, we stop to top off our supply of coal, lay out my bedroll, and that's it for day 2. On day 3, we continue across the hills of the savannah for a while, enjoying the magnificent view along the way. until we reach the far side of the biome and I come across exactly what I've been looking for this whole time. An island with a desert mesa biome. Just what I need in order to build my main base. I got straight to work ravaging the landscape and stripping it of any useful materials. Now it's time to investigate the island. Yeah, that many cobwebs can only mean one thing, a cave spider spawner. Thankfully, it's basically outside, and there's already a torch by it, so nothing's going to spawn right now. That said, one of the cardinal rules of hardcore Minecraft is that you don't mess with cave spiders. They'll wreck your shit up pretty quick. So unfortunately, this thing's gotta go. With that out of the way, it's time to unpack and settle in just in time to find a nice spot on the beach and watch the sunset, marking the end of the third day of survival in our hardcore Minecraft server. I get back to my bed just as the moon starts to rise, and it's time to rest up. For tomorrow, the real work begins. Day 4 is now upon us, so it's time to bury the hatchet and get to work. First off, let's craft some storage chests, because hauling around 300 pounds of random crap all day isn't all that great for the back. After that, we'll smelt some iron and build ourselves a boat so that we can explore the lands across the sea. First on our list of places to visit is the desert temple that we saw off to our west. These can have some great loot inside, especially early game, so they're always worth taking a peek inside. We break in, drop down, disarm the TNT trap, and the loot certainly doesn't disappoint. We find diamonds, iron, string, a saddle, horse armor, a golden apple, gunpowder, emeralds, bones, a second golden apple. All in all, a pretty decent haul. And of course, never say no to free explosives. With all the loot secured, we continue our journey to the southwest in order to explore the mesa cliffs on the far shore. Just on the other side of the hill, we come across our first pillager outpost. Now, with no armor and only stone weapons, I decide to take the safest course of action possible. Run straight into their outpost, lock myself inside, run straight up to the stairs to the very top, steal all of their stuff, plop down a crafting table, and craft myself a shield and a shiny new pickaxe. Then, I jump off to the very top of the building, land right next to a pillager, and ran like my life depended on it, because it did. Now all that's left is a 300-yard dash in the middle of the night dodging hostile mobs until I get back to my bed and pretend it was all a bad dream. It was just a bad dream, right? With adventuring out of my system for the moment, I decided to craft myself a shiny new iron axe. I did a little bit of housekeeping with my inventory, and then I jumped off the cliff next to me for no real reason, gathered up all the sugarcane growing next to the lake, and arranged myself a crude sugarcane farm so that I'd have a nice steady supply of sugar and paper later on. Since I was halfway there already, I decided to visit the acacia village just to the east of my island. I helped myself to their wheat and their melons. Just that for now. Returning to my base, I started to dig out what would eventually become my strip mining facility, so I can get diamonds and other valuable ores a lot more safely than I could by simply caving. This way I can control the lighting in order to make sure I don't get ambushed by any hostile mobs before I have the chance to craft myself the armor and weapons that I need in order to defend myself against them. I reach the deep slate layers and begin strip mining for diamonds, letting my iron pick do the heavy lifting, while the diamond pickaxe stays in reserve until I can get it enchanted with mending, unbreaking, efficiency, the usual. But more on that later. After a brief mining session, I return back to the surface and start the process of clearing out the surrounding land for my mega base build. Now, if you're a fan of boring and mind-numbingly tedious block breaking for long periods of time, then boy, do I have something for you. Hit it. Well, thanks to the magic that is video editing, what took me dozens of painful Minecraft days in order to completely level is now gone in mere moments. Next up are those small pillars just to the left of the tower. So, let's get back to work. Thankfully, this one didn't take nearly as long as the first one. But our work is only just beginning, but the rest can wait until tomorrow. Okay, it's tomorrow. I guess it's time to go back to work. Next up on the hit list is this main cave with the abandoned mine shaft we took care of earlier. I'm hoping a good chunk of this will be hollow, so it won't take forever to demolish. But I guess there's only one way to find out. Let's get back to work. Now, to answer your questions, yes, a bunch of it was hollow, and no, it didn't really help. That still took forever. And I still have these large towers over on the left to take care of. So, let's get back to it. And another one bites the dust. I may have carpal tunnel by this point, but at least we're nearing the home stretch. Only these last few towers left to go, and we've got just enough time before day 100, where I'm going to put down the ceremonial first block of my new mega base. We don't have much time to spare, so if we're going to finish this on time, we're going to have to get back to it. Hit it. Well, guys, we've done it. The tall towers of terracotta are all gone, and all that's left is a blank slate for my creative desires. We still have a couple days left until the day 100 block placing, so I'm going to try to fit in one last side project to take my mind off the hell I just put myself through. Now for this project, we're returning back to the Acacia village next door in order to bring back some settlers to populate my island. Go ahead, hop in the boat, my friend. We've got medical and dental. Trust me, you're going to have the time of your life. Nothing to worry about at all. Here, just put this friendship necklace on. No? No, that's okay. Maybe later. 2 villagers, a bunch of beds, and an open bar later. We've got the newest additions to our family. No, you can't leave. And now, with the sun setting on day 100, it's time to put down the first block of our mega base. And we'll also install a commemorative plaque to celebrate the occasion. Our day 100 goal has been accomplished and the crowd starts jumping for joy. And with that taken care of, it's time to sit back and relax as we watch the sun set on our new home. We've accomplished so much, but there's still so much left to do before we enter the Nether on day 200. Until then, good night everyone, and thanks for watching.